Hi, first graders. I hope you had a nice long weekend. This week, we will be having our math lessons on Tuesday and Thursday. We're going to be thinking about how we can add 10 more to a number and subtract 10 less in a snap. So we're going to be really paying attention to patterns that we can notice to help us add 10 or subtract 10 quickly. In your packet, you'll see a 100 chart puzzle. This is what we'll be working on today. You're going to need your playing cards and this recording sheet. Now, this recording sheet is something that you should put into one of the plastic sleeves so that you can do this activity more than once. You're going to notice that in the middle is the starting number. This starting number is the number you're going to create with your cards. So the first direction says pick 2 cards from the pile to create a 2-digit number. Very similar to what you did in 2-digit Top It. So I'm going to pick 2 cards, and I picked a 4 and a 7. I could make the number 74, or I can make the number 47. I think for today, I'll make the number 47. So I'm going to write the number 47 in that starting number box. Now, this is like thinking about taking a picture of part of a hundreds chart. So if I was to go over here and look at a hundreds chart, I would find the number 47. Now, this puzzle goes up, down, and then across. It's the same thing that we'll be seeing on our puzzle. So you'll notice it goes up 2, down 2, and over 2 each way. So up 2, down 2, and over. So that's where your puzzle is hidden in the hundreds chart. I think the hundreds chart can be a great tool if you're feeling a little stuck, but I think it's important to try your best without a hundreds chart first. So I want to think about my tens and my ones. If I were going to build the number 47, I would have 4 tens and 7 ones. So I need to think about adding another 10. That would mean I would have 5 tens. I could even draw it right here. 10, 20, 30, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47. And then if I added a 10, now I would have 50 plus my 7 ones, 57. Now I need to add another 10. Now I have 6 tens, which would make my number 67. But what if I wanted to think about 10 less? I'm going to start again with my 47. And I'm going to subtract a 10. Now I only have 3 tens, which means I have the number 37. If I were to subtract that last 10, now I have 10, 20, 27. Now, I want you to take a look at the numbers I've just written, and I want you to think, what do you notice about them? Think about when we do a number talk in the classroom, and we try to look for patterns across the board in all the numbers that we've counted. The same thing is what I'd like you to do right now. So take a moment and think, can you notice one pattern? Can you notice 2, 3? I wonder if some of you might be noticing that the number 7 stays the same all the way. when you're adding or subtracting a 10, your ones are going to stay the same. Some of you may have noticed this pattern. It's going up by 1. It's really going up by 110, right? Plus 10, plus 10, plus 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If that's the pattern, what would come after 67 if I was going to add 10? Well, I know it's going to have a 7 because the 7 stayed true all the way. And I know it's going to be 1 more than 6. So it would be 77 if I kept going. Once you know the pattern, it's going to make it a lot easier for you to add and subtract 10 in a snap. Now, on our hundredths chart puzzle, you'll also see we're adding 1 and subtracting 1. So I want to think, what is 1 more than 67? You could put 67 in my brain. 67, 68, 69. What is 1 less than 67? 66. 1 less than that is 65. Now I've completed my hundreds chart puzzle. Let's check our work on a 100 chart. There's 47, 37, 27, 57, 67. Here's that 77 that we guessed. And now you can see 68, 69, 66, 65. All right, first graders, once you've finished the first puzzle, you can go on to the second puzzle. This one is a bit of a challenge. Your starting number is still in the middle though. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my starting number. I got a 6 and a 2, so I could make 62, or I could make 26. I think I'll go with 62. So I wrote the number 62. Now, I might want to start by thinking about the 10 less and 10 more, and then I'll worry about 1 less and 1 more. So I'm going to draw my number again. Count with me. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 61, 62. Now, maybe you don't need to draw your numbers. Maybe you already know it in a snap. We know that our 2 is going to stay the same because our ones place doesn't change when we're adding and subtracting 110. So I know my number is going to have a 2. I also think back to that other pattern where I noticed that the tens place was going up by 1. So adding 1 more 10 gives me 7 tens, or 72. 1 more 10 would make my number 82. If I'm subtracting, starting with my 62, what is 1 less than 6? 5, that's right. So 10 less is going to be 52. 42. Now, remember, this is like the hundreds chart. So what is 1 more than 42? 43. 1 more than that, 44. 1 less than 42. 41. 40. I can check my work by counting all of them once I've filled them in. 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. That sounds right and looks right. Now I'm going to jump down to 62. 1 less than 62, 61. 1 less than 61, 60. Jump back to my number, 62. 1 more, 63. 64. I might be noticing a pattern again, thinking about how Now the ones place is what is going up by 1. And now my tens place is what is staying the same. So that can help me when I jump down to my last number. So 82, I know this is going to be 80, 81, 82, 83, and 84. Because it's going to follow those same patterns that we saw up top. And now my 100 chart is done. I could erase, pick 2 more cards, and start again. If you get a 10 when you're drawing your cards, you could think of a number that's in the hundreds place. Now that's a pretty big challenge. So if you don't feel like challenging yourself like that, just skip it. So if I picked 10 and 2, I could make the number 102. Or I could say, you know what? I'm going to put my 10 aside and I'm going to pick a new number. This is like your other games where you can't really use your kings, your jacks, or your queens. So no face cards. Just skip them and go to the next number card. All right, first graders, I hope that you're really able to look for patterns and fill out your 100 chart puzzle. When you do, you can either send a picture or fill it out online. All right, see you Thursday.